Here at ITL, we have recently invested in modernising our test facility and our test equipment. When we did this, we removed our old and antiquated control panel, and as we did that, we damaged the internal workings of it. Now, that control panel is surplus to requirements, but we would like to keep it in the business as a demonstration of where the technology has come from and where we have come from as a company over the last 65 years. The control panel that now is in Crawley College's hands to repair has been in the business probably over 30 to 40 years, and we'd just like to keep it to show where we've come from and show our customers and suppliers and other stakeholders where we're going with our company. So we look forward to Crawley College working on it and bringing the old girl back to life.
Just to recap on this small teams project, so this piece of equipment, as we know, has come from Insulated Tools, our friends over in East Grinstead. What it is for, although it is quite an antiquated piece of equipment, and we know it's got a lot of old items and components inside it, what they use it for is part of their test rig to test the insulation on their tools. And all the tools have to pass a certain criteria, and that's to be able to stand up to 10,000 volts for 3 minutes. This is the core control piece of equipment to enable them to test their tools, and if the tools kind of fail, then they go into the bin. If they pass, they then go on to the customer. So, vital piece of equipment for Insulated Tools. And what they've done, they've asked us to have a look at it because it stopped working. Yeah. And they asked us if we wanted to take it on as a small teams project for you guys to maybe do a little bit of reverse engineering and find out maybe what the fault is. So we've handed it over to you guys. You've had it for a while. You've done a lot of testing and diagnostics. So, Maisie, what are we so far?
So far we've obviously taken out, kind of gutted it a bit. We've looked at the wires, some of the components, and see what has gone wrong. A lot of the wires are the same colour, and there's household wires instead of general manufacturing wires. And some of the soldering is a bit poor, ill-fitting, unprotected, uninsulated. A lot of the components are very old, considering this was made about 40 years ago in some guy's shed. There's no blueprint, there's no backup of any information that's even on the components as well. So we've done some research on the ones that we can, which are a bit newer, and looked at the company as well. Gone back to see if there's any kind of information on them. The best bet we've had for those is secondhand, stuff like eBay, Facebook, or various other websites and companies, and there's not enough.
Yeah, it's rare.
Okay. Well, great, fantastic. Because it means, well, I mean, we have been moving along, because you're mentioning that about circuitry and diagrams. I know that, Kobe, you've been working on the wiring diagram.
Yeah. Or
a sort of wire diagram to give us an element of understanding what's going on in here. And how have you found that?
Difficult. There's a lot of wires which they're just all over the place, and of course, like May said, there's some wires which don't actually even connect anywhere, so it's kind of hard to put that onto the wiring diagram. But so far I'm probably about halfway through getting the electronic version done. We did do a paper version, but that was almost impossible to read.
Yeah. Okay. Especially because it was only Jack doing it.
Yeah.
Because it was Jack and Kobe, so it's similar to what this is, where it's probably just one person doing it on his own. So only he has the mental map of it.
Okay.
So it's difficult for.
So we tried to do it on a program to test the actual components on a program, see if it functions electronically. But the problem we had with that is none of the components exist on those programs anymore because they're so old. And what we tried to do at least is get the newer ones, but that just gives us new reading, and they're not the exact same. They're bigger, they're smaller, they're completely different, and it just wouldn't give us the same outcome as if we got the same components and uploaded that onto it.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is some fairly significant problems in understanding this piece of equipment, as well as the soldering aspects of it. We know there's some level of poor insulation in there, and we've got wires that we don't know where they should be going because there's not much colour coding. So what are our next steps? What are we going to go back and and tell Insulated Tools that we recommend the next step?
As soon as we've drawn up a wire diagram, so we know where each wire to which component goes, rip out all the wires, redo them, recolor code them, turn the machine on, see if it
Resolder.
works, see if that's solved the problem. If that hasn't, then we're basically back to square one, testing different again what it could be. If it was component, something else maybe. But yeah, that would be next steps for now.
Cool, good. And Maisie, you'll be going into Insulated Tools and briefing them on that, won't you, as the
Of
project
course.
lead?
Of course, of course.
Okay, thank you guys for briefing.